Hi, welcome back to Valeryth SMP, episode 4, I think. I do happen to be using the wrong, thumbnail for this episode, but that's okay, because look at my fucking church. Take a good look. Take a good look. Okay? Take a real good look at my church. And you know what? I can tell it's mine because these are the coordinates. These are the exact coordinates. The exact coordinates. And it has the spot where I dug upwards. It has the lava spots that I filled in. And behind it, behind my beautiful baby, is the spot where Unknown is living. Which I believe is somewhere over... Yeah. Behind my beautiful baby, there's that, which is where Unknown is living. Someone destroyed my church. Someone destroyed my church. Someone destroyed my church. I am not happy. So you know what we're gonna do this episode? We're gonna try and find out who did this to my beautiful baby. To my beautiful baby boy. Piercing and unbreaking. Okay, that could actually probably be useful. How do I put those together again? Do I need an anvil or like a crafting table or... I don't know, I forgot. But yeah, I am honest to God gonna kill someone. 'Cause what do you mean? What do you mean you decide, you see this structure with things in it, and you decide that you are going to destroy it, and take all the things in it, and take all the signs, and take this specific part of everything. What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? You have genuinely no clue how pissed off I am. My church, my beautiful baby, and they just destroyed it. For what? For materials? You know what? I could get a lot more materials from the admins and the helpers. You know that? No clue. I could get a lot more materials from the admins. Oh, I'm so pissed off. Okay. That is where my church was usually entered. Over here is Unknown's house. So I think I'm gonna go forward and... Oh, what if Unknown finds out? Oh, I need to tell him at some point. Looks like they just did it for building resources. Well, they also got rid of all the fucking... all the barrels, all the signs. The fucking podium that we had. They got rid of the podium. They got rid of everything. And you know, at this point, I don't care if they only did it for resources. I am going to find them. I'm gonna find this guy, and I'm gonna fucking kill him. I hate to be violent, but I need to find this guy. I need to find this guy. You just lost all your lives on the server? Oh. But yeah, you know, I hate to be violent, and I hate yeah. I hate to be brash, But you know what? I'm not gonna take this. I'm not gonna handle this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna find someone, and I'm gonna ask them who has gone to my church recently. I don't know who I'm gonna find. I hope it's someone, at least. I don't know. I'm just traveling. The N group is hosting a meeting that is totally not a trap. Huh. But yeah, I need to fucking search. I need to traverse, bro. 'Cause that was my fucking pride and joy. Bro, that was my pride and joy. My pride, my baby. That church was my baby. You fuck with my church, you fuck with me. I may not be the best at PvP, but I know some people. I know some people. And I know damn well that if they knew what happened to my church, they'd be, Oiken just hosted a meeting in the overworld and there was a trap. That's how I lost my last life. Fuck, okay. But I know damn well that there are people that would be just as pissed as me if maybe I should go to spawn. Maybe I should go to spawn. I forgot where spawn is. I'm gonna skid around back to my church. The remnants of my church. God, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. Why? Who would have done that? Who could have done that? Who would have done that? I doubt it was an attack on me specifically, but it doesn't matter. There were things in there. I had a sign up on the front door that said St. Cheto's Church. They couldn't have known. They couldn't have been unaware. They couldn't have been unaware that I was the owner of that church. They couldn't have been unaware that that was being used. I'm gonna find that guy, and I'm gonna kill him. If it's the last thing I fucking do. And if I don't kill him, then I'm gonna get someone else to. Right? Yeah. If I don't kill him, I'm gonna get someone else to. God. Was this a purposeful attack? Was this because I supported Otis? It looks like it was done for building materials, but I know there's something else going on. It could have been because of anything. It could have been because I supported Otis, because I supported the admins and the helpers. It could have been anything. Really. If it's because I supported Otis, oh god. There are only a few people who knew where my church was. Only a few people who could have known what was going on with my church. I hosted a sermon. I was going to host a lot more. I hosted sermons. Several. Or not several, but I was gonna host several. Sermons that would have sermons that would have been they could have I could have made a difference in this server. I could have made a difference. I could have made a fucking difference in this server. And you know what they do? To my church. They do this. It's my church. Mine. Why specifically mine? What do these people have against me? What do these people have against me? You can tell they looted the whole place, too. They went through it. They got their grubby hands all over everything. Please heal. Why? I'm not gonna be attacked. I'm not gonna be attacked, and I'm not gonna attack anyone. And if I get attacked, then at least I'm going to die defending my church. I know that if I get attacked, I'm dead. I'm fucking gone if that happens. I hate to admit it, but I'm not the best PvPer. Hey, I'm someone from the overworld. How's it down there in the nether? My church is gone. Sorry. My church, they destroyed it. They destroyed everything. Not everything. They left half of it. They left half of it because I don't know. They left half of it because they wanted to, I guess. I really, honest to God, do not know. Where the fuck is everything? And I can't help but wonder if it was Nighthawk and his fucking gang that did that. They didn't burn it down, no. They deliberately took their pickaxes and dug it out. They dug out my church. My church. Admittedly, it was just in a structure. But they should have known. I put things outside. I put a sign outside that said St. Cheto's Church. They should have fucking known. They should have known. They should have known. What are the admins gonna think? What are the helpers and the admins gonna think once they know that my church is gone? Because they know. Or they might not know, but are they gonna be disappointed in me that I couldn't protect it? Doesn't Nighthawk just make beer? I don't fucking know. I don't know what Nighthawk does. Nighthawk does, okay? Nighthawk really does nothing. Nighthawk was the one that they were all voting for the election. Right, Nighthawk was the one that everyone wanted to be the representative of the Nether. Nighthawk. That's who they wanted. The one with no plan, no previous leadership abilities, nothing. That's who they wanted. Guys, I hate to inform y'all. I think my everything is tweaking, low key, high key, low key. Everything is tweaking out, high key, low key. My shit is freaking out. Sorry, chat, if the stream went offline for a little bit. It kind of like, everything kind of like freaked out for a second. There is a winter storm going on outside my house. It's light snow right now. Oh my god, yes is. What is... T-Guy, love you so much. What does that mean? Oh my god, yes is. Thanks, T-Guy. I don't know what that means. Thanks anyway. Oh my god, okay, I'm at like a plains area, I'd reckon. It seems like a plains. I'm so scared. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, me too. Thanks, your local B2B. I'm frightened too. Because if someone is going after my church, they probably have a reason for that. If I lose... okay, I'm running. I am not willing to lose all my gear to a fucking Zoglin. I am not willing to do that. I am not willing to deal with that. I'm begging you, eat the food. The moms are gonna kill you. I can handle it. I can handle it, T.I. I am handling this perfectly well, T.I. I'm running. I can handle this perfectly well, T.I. Don't even worry. Just skittering about. My stupid... stupid diamond armor. And what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Because I can't find my teammates. I can't find Doggo, I can't find Turtlebird or Whalable or any of them. Lemon doesn't like me, and I don't like Lemon. I think if I interacted with Lemon, I'd rather shoot myself in the foot with a nail gun. Lemon frightens me a little bit because I don't know what she's capable of. She's always had other people do her dirty work, so I don't know what she can do. And that scares me a lot. Why don't you like Lemon? Last season, Lemon destroyed the entirety of Thornvale, which was the country that I was part of. So yeah, yeah, a lot of stuff happened there. This isn't a very engaging stream. There's not a lot happening. I don't reckon. At least I don't think it's engaging. I don't know. There's not a lot happening because I can't find any of my teammates. Any of my friends. 6 people died at the meeting and 1 got permed. Okay. So from what I'm hearing, the End and the Overworld are doing a lot worse than we are. All that I had to deal with so far is my church burning down, or not burning down, my church getting destroyed, and you guys are dealing with, like, death traps. I feel bad for y'all. I feel bad for y'all. Honest to God. At least half of my church is still here. These people are dead, so. But yeah, I really hope I find people soon. It's not fun, says Local B. Yeah, that's real. I didn't expect it to be fun. It's from what I've heard, the End is like a fucking dystopia, like a dystopian society. Like everyone's poor. Everyone's poor. People are hoarding the one good resource they have, elytras. And I'm coming to the Nether as soon as borders drop. Yeah, I reckon that's, yeah. I reckon that's probably what people should do. I personally want to get to the overworld because I want to see Copper. Copper is... He's one of my friends from last season. I really like Copper. I'm really hoping... The poor are poor and the rich are rich. Poor get poorer, rich get richer. Something like that. On the side of a fucking mountain. But yeah, I'm just glad I live in the Nether, where we don't really have a government. I mean, we technically have the representative, but like nothing's been done regarding that. The representative currently, Nighthawk, or I'm assuming it's Nighthawk right now. I don't fucking know who it is. Well, he hasn't done shit. Which I think that if Otis were the representative, he would have done a lot more than Nighthawk ever could. I'm being very open about my political beliefs, and maybe that's why my church got destroyed. But you know what? I'm not willing to silence myself out of fear of what other people are going to do to me. Super easy for people with Elytra to go to other structures to get more Elytra. Yeah, that sounds like hell. I'm in the Nether, but that sounds like hell. That sounds like genuine hell. I hate to inform you. Have I taken my meds the past couple days? You know, I don't think I've taken my meds. Wow, that is... Wow. But yeah, there's no real, like, hot spots for people to be anymore. I was aiming for my church to be a little hot spot for people to congregate and to interact with each other, but... then it got destroyed. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was meant to be living with someone Arctic, but I can't remember where their house is. So yeah, a lot's going on. I haven't logged on much. It's not fun. Yeah, it's not that fun. It's only really fun for me because the Happy Ghasts, or me and Doggo and like a couple others grabbed a Happy Ghast. Oh my god, there's so much fucking magma. Jesus Christ. No, it's not fun being broke. Yeah, it isn't really fun being broke. It's scary. I do agree that this season is a lot less fun than the last one. Yeah, I feel like it could be because they didn't let us pick teams beforehand. I feel like if we were allowed to pick teams beforehand and, like, get stronger alliances with those teams, and something like Lemon's thing happened, we could have a more interesting and fun season than just whatever this is. Because this, essentially, in the Nether, everyone's just, like, split up into different kinds of groups. And, you know, none of the groups are very, like, official. None of them are very official. And I would make a town, but I don't think anyone would join it. That's the rough part. If we got any Nether goers in the chat and you would join a town, hit me up or something. I don't fucking know. Hey, let me look in the Valeryth Civilizations Discord server. Okay. You wanna know what Lemon said when I said in the Nether Lounge that I think someone destroyed my church? Lemon said Thornvale Part 2. And I know. I know she was kidding. But I'm gonna kill her. Only like 10 people are trying to do lore while everyone else is trying to kill other people. Yeah, I'm trying to do lore, personally, but I can't figure out how to do that. Because I can't find the people that are trying to do lore. Because I think half of them just aren't in the Nether. And, you know, the church would have been my big thing for lore if it hadn't been destroyed 2 seconds in. Right? Lemon's hiding right now? Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna go back this way, I think. Lemon's hiding. But yeah, I do wish that we had been allowed to pick teams and dimensions. Just so that people could flesh out their lore and stories before the server officially started. Like, I know Copper really wanted to be in anywhere but the Nether because he's trying to get to the Nether, like, in his lore. But he had really no way of knowing what dimension he was going to get into. And I feel like that really fucked up a lot of people's, like, character lore and things they wanted to do. Because, like, I'm not with, like, any of my buddies other than... I'm with Lemon, but I don't know if she counts as a buddy, you know? Lemon does not count as a buddy to me, I don't think. Oh my god, will this lava stop? Okay. But yeah, I'm with Lemon. She doesn't count as a buddy, though. She's not... Out of character, I think she counts as a buddy. But, in character, no. No. I do wish the server allowed for more lore-oriented things. I wish that was more encouraged. I wish that we started caring less about the PvP and the actual game aspect of it than the lore, because I feel like that's kind of what it's advertised as, right? It's like a lore-heavy server, but the lore is never really, like, expanded on. It's never, like, encouraged. I mean, it is encouraged, but it's never, like... The character forums are really all there is. I really want to go see Lemon because we have some insane lore to do. Yeah, I really hope I see Lemon at some point, because, like... I don't know, I just want to interact with Lemon. Because this Cheto remembers. He remembers. I thought there'd be a lot of lore. Yeah, me too. And there was a lot in the first season, but I feel like I feel like the issue is, after the first season, we're kind of trying to capture lightning in a bottle twice. We're trying to capture lightning in a bottle twice, and I don't know how we could do that, because like Thornvale, what happened with Thornvale was so, like, interesting and good. That's the only real way I can describe it, is good. It's so lore-filled and neat and interesting, and I genuinely don't know how we would ever be able to do that again. Like, we can follow certain themes, but we're never gonna get exactly Thornvale again. And I feel like what's happening is people are trying to get exactly Thornvale. And I miss Thornvale too, but we're not gonna get that, ever. It's also just really hard to come up with... Hi, Jay. It's also just really hard to come up with, like, lore, like, independent stuff for characters when you aren't allowed to have predetermined teams. And it's especially hard to come up with things for characters when, for half the SMP, you have to be just stuck with random people that you most likely don't know. That's kind of why I've been latching onto Otis so much. It's because he is like the only person from last season that carried on to this season that I can still like interact with. I think I tried to interact with Marsh. T-Guy says, I would actually really like if we could do a semi-scripted season with this group of people. That would be kind of interesting. Scripted as in like some events are like planned out beforehand. That would be really interesting. And that's the way that I do most of my lore stuff, most of my like role plays and stuff, is I plan out things, like important things beforehand. I don't know, I just feel like the server has been focusing more on PvP and stuff like that than lore. And it's like, what? I don't know. I'm just saying shit. I still have not found literally anyone, by the way. I just want that to be known. I have not found a singular person. It's true, says T-Guy. If I don't find someone soon, I might end the stream, because I'm getting kind of bored just, like, scurrying around here. Is that a zombified piglin on it? Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. Sorry, that was really cute. It's a zombified piglin on a strider. But yeah, I feel like Dimensions just wasn't the way to go. You know what I'd really like to see? And this may be a bit too like nerdy to oh shit. This may be a bit too nerdy. Oh shit. This may be a bit too nerdy of like a thing to want. But I would really like to see, because I make my own SMPs sometimes. I make my own little SMPs, and I never really have enough people to do like any big things with them, but I make my own sometimes. And a thing that I would really like to see is an SMP kind of like this, like a factions SMP, based on the, would you leave me alone? Based on the entities of, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm ending it, I think. Anyways, but yeah, a server based on the Magnus Archives entities would be very interesting in my professional opinion. Cause like the hold on, let me pull up what the Magnus Archives entities are. It says, the entities, also known as the fears, the powers, the dread powers, or the things that we fear, are the principal antagonists of the Magnus Archives and the phenomena that more mundane and earthly antagonists serve. Oh my fucking god, is there a guy here? Okay, no, there's not. Okay. But The entities themselves are the buried. It says the buried, also known as the center, choke, too close, I cannot breathe, forever deep below creation. It is the fear of small spaces, suffocating, drowning, being buried alive, fear of everything crashing down around / on oneself, fear of being trapped without enough space, manifests as caves, dirt, financial issues, heavy rain, underground transport, tight spaces such as coffins. That one's interesting. That was one of my favorites. Another one is the corruption, also called the filth, the crawling rot, the flesh hive, the fear of corruption, disease, filth, fear of the feelings of disgust, revulsion, and the things or beings that might evoke such feelings, manifests as mold, bugs, rot, decay, infection, the feeling of one's skin crawling. Can also manifest as unhealthy love and companionship. The next one is the dark. It's yeah. Sorry, I love the Magnus Archives. I've never really listened to it, but I love it. I love the concept of the entities, or the fears, or whatever they are. The next one is the dark, also called Mr. Pitch, the forever blind. The primal fear of the dark, of the unseen, and the creatures hiding from our view. The dark is said to be one of the oldest entities, manifests as creatures hidden in the dark, shadow figures and monsters, blindness, coldness, and dark water. The desolation is also called the lightless flame, the torturing flame, the devastation, the blackened earth, the ravening burn, Asag, I don't know, fear of pain, loss, burning, and destruction, especially with a senseless cause. Followers are enriched by destroying the lives of people who had things to live for and destroying things before their potential is realized. Manifests as fire, wax, heat, burns, destruction of potential. The end is also called death, terminus, the termination of all life, the coming end that waits for all and cannot be ignored. The fear of death itself, uncaring and unstoppable. The fear that everything ends eventually. Manifests as bones, various forms of the dead, zombies, mummies, skeletons, etc. Also has close ties to dreams and can manifest through them. The next is the Eye, also called the Beholding, the ceaseless watcher. It knows you, the great eye that watches all who linger in terror and gorges itself on the sufferings of those under its unrelenting, stuporous gaze. I'm trying to read the Magnus Archives entities I'm trying to read the Magnus Archives wiki to my stream. Leave me alone. But the Eye is the fear of being watched, exposed, followed, having secrets exposed. Can also pertain to the drive to know and understand, even if your discoveries may destroy you. Manifests as eyes, security cameras, a creature or figure that keeps constant watch. Often manifests in libraries and books. The flesh, also called viscera, born from the fear held by animals bred for meat, and the human realization that we are just animated meat and bones. Manifests as meat, corpses, blood, bones, butchers, meat-related industry. Often manifests as strange bodies being unnaturally twisted, reshaped, and butchered. That one's really cool, in my professional opinion. I really like that one. There's the hunt, also called blood. The animalistic fear of being chased or hunted, the primal fear of being prey, manifests as predators, predatory monsters, animal instincts, animalistic traits. It says takes hold of apparently normal people after they are exposed to the need for the hunt. Self-proclaimed monster hunters might become hunters and proceed to develop a need to hunt and kill monsters. It's also less able to affect humans due to our self-removal from the food chain. There's the lonely, also called forsaken, the one alone, the fear of isolation, of being completely cut off and alone, or disconnected from the rest of society. Manifests as fog, large rooms, silence, suburbs, empty rooms, crowds of faceless people. The slaughter is the fear of pure, unpredictable, unmotivated violence, the fear of pain coming at sudden, random moments. Manifests as people driven mad with slaughter, soldiers, music that either induces slaughter or warns that slaughter is coming. Often manifests in imagery of war or murder, and can appear wild like a frenzied killer or calm and regimented like soldiers firing on the battlefield. The spiral, also called Esmenteras, the twisting deceit. It is not what it is. The fear of madness, that the world you know is wrong, that your mind is lying to you. Fear of deception, lying, deceiving of the mind and senses. The spiral appears with the imagery of spirals, patterns, and fractals, and often manifests as hallucinations or illusions. The stranger is also called I do not know you. The fear of the unknown, the uncanny, the unfamiliar, the creeping sense that something is not right. Manifests as beings and aspects of beings that provoke an uncanny valley response, human and other being adjacent forms, such as mannequins, wax figures, masks, and taxidermy, often manifests in theaters and performances. The vast, also called the falling titan, the fear of heights, falling, and large open spaces, including sky, space, and deep water. More broadly, the human fear of insignificance and meaninglessness, of losing oneself in too much space, manifests as void, wide open spaces, vertigo, falling, the transformation of something that should have a limit into something infinite. The web, also known as the spider, the great spider, mother of puppets, the mother, the spinner of schemes, the hidden machination. The fear of being controlled or trapped, especially being aware of one's own entrapment. The fear of being forced to do something against one's own will, of being manipulated. Also the fear of spiders, manifests as spiders, spider webs, web-like patterns, puppets. And then the last one is called the extinction. And it says, also called the terrible change, the future without us, the world is always ending. A new entity hypothesized by that guy I'm not even going to begin to attempt. The fear of catastrophic change, destruction of nature, destruction of human skin and tissue, the destruction of humanity itself and its replacement by something different. All of this usually via mankind's own causing. Manifests through human technology such as computers, code, and radio, and seems to present horrifying visions of what humans could become or what could become of humans. But yeah, those are the Magnus Archives entities. And I think it would be really interesting if there was like a factions-based SMP where I can see it as like, how many are there? Hold on, how many are there? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. So that can that be... What is 15 divisible by? What is 15 divisible by? $15 divided by 3. Okay. So I think it would be interesting if there were... Hi, Cosmos. I'm talking about the Magnus Archives. I think an SMP, a factions-based SMP, based around the idea of the entities would be really interesting if there were either 5 groups or 3 groups where a bunch of different entities were put into one group, or like they were combined into 3 separate things, or like 5 separate things. I personally think that would be really interesting. I don't know if I could ever get enough people for that. I don't know if I could ever get enough people to like represent everyone, or like all of the entities. I know that if I ever did that, I don't actually know what I would want Sea Shadow to be, because a lot of these are so like interesting to me. Because I really like the buried. I really like the dark. The buried, the dark. I feel like the eye, the flesh, and the spiral are really like... The eye, the flesh, the spiral, and the stranger are really mainstream ones, so I want to stay away from those. But I really like the buried. I really like the dark. The buried, the dark, the hunt, the slaughter, the vast, and maybe the extinction. The buried, the dark, the hunt, the slaughter, the vast, and the extinction are my favorites, my absolute favorites. I love them so much. So yeah, I don't know which one would fit Sea Shadow the most. I feel like it would be okay. I would have to figure out what type of groups to split all of the entities into, so that there could be like there could be like it could just go by the general, like it could just go alphabetically, or it could go by how similar they are to each other, or something like that. If it goes alphabetically, then okay. Sorry, I'm thinking. If it goes by how similar they are to each other, then I think the buried, the corrupt, or the buried, the dark, the buried, the dark, the lonely, the buried, the dark, the lonely would be group number 1. The buried, the dark, the lonely. And then group number 2 would be the corruption, and then the corruption. Fuck, okay. The corruption, the web, the corruption, the web, and something else. Maybe the slaughter. Oh no, the flesh! The flesh! The corruption, the web, and the flesh. Okay. Yeah. The corruption, the web, and the flesh. And then... So, the buried, the dark, and the lonely are 1. The corruption, the web, and the flesh are group 2. The desolation, the end, and the extinction would definitely be group 3. I can see the eye, the spiral, and the stranger. The eye, the spiral, and the stranger. Probably. Maybe. I think the hunt, the slaughter, and the hunt, the slaughter. I don't quite know. So I have, okay. I have the buried, the dark, the lonely. The buried, the dark, the lonely. That's group 1, so I have 1 group. The corruption, the flesh, and the web, so that's group 2. The desolation, the end, and the extinction, so that's group 3. So I have 3 groups. The eye, the spiral, and the stranger, so that's 4 groups. So that only leaves the vast... the slaughter, and the hunt, which I don't think those fit too well. I'll you know, if I ever do this, I'll figure it out better. I've been rambling for half of this stream. I think I'm gonna end this stream here, guys. You